move, great throw, easy catch.
But as you mentioned, maybe the hardest catch in football is when you're that wide open.
It is. I mean, you're so open, you're not really concentrating when it's a tight window. And you got to do what we say the ABC.
To start him inside. And then Jack Jones takes the bait. See a little stutter inside, and Jack Jones has got his eyes. But watch the right hand. Watch him punch. It's really a nice job there by Jones.
For A.T. Perry, this is a huge opportunity on a go ball up the sideline to go try and draw a penalty on the underthrown ball. But watch this hit on the edge.
This is a nice little route. Finds his receiver breaking open. Joseph skates, gets both feet in.
There from Akins at the top. Look at the route, gets inside, good strong hands. That was one of the concerns. Could he get to the Vikings? And he was talking a lot out at the cross-country mortgage campus, even getting into it with the fans. But right there, backing it up on the field.
For two big ones now. Turn them around. But Hayes is right there, and he still makes the catch. Great concentration.
And these receivers, this is another free agent, by the way, and right. Cody Miller having a heck of a night. I mean, you're deep at receiver.
To the backside. See, Demishar's going to never get beat to the top, so he's not going to do that. Stay on his hip. Yeah, see, that's just good.
Watch Keaton make this grab. Nice job at the top of the route, putting his foot in the ground, and then extending, holding onto the football. Now watch the... Wow, that's a really good catch. Jeez. Yes. He does a good job finding the umpire. Rather than just put the ball on the ground, he hands the ball to the official so he can get it spotted quickly.
Get your depth.
Yeah, I mean, this
right
is...
there.
That's unbelievable to fit that in.
No, he didn't. It was just tremendous skill. That was such a bad dad joke. Watch this. Oh, my goodness. That was really good coverage from Ricks. He pinned it. Watch his right glove pin it to Eli Ricks' helmet there. 36, Tristan McCollum, right side of your screen. Eagles come with a blitz. So that happened. That is...
Watch him get his hand in there, that right hand. That's what gets the ball up in the air. And Webb is right there to make the play, but great job by him.
You know, Sam Webb was in a situation a couple of years ago. He was undrafted free agent out of Missouri Western. He made the initial 53 roster 2 years ago.
Get inside and keep position, and you see it right there. You put that ball inside.
So Nickerson's kind of up there. Pretty good coverage. It's not bad. I mean, Nickerson's
going to take the inside. Good man coverage. Stay on top of him. Stop shoulder. Look at that. You can't.
Peterman not giving up on the play. You look at Wilkinson just working back. I give Christian Wilkins a lot of credit.
Jump these routes pretty quick. It looks like they're man up top. And they're man all the way around. And they even had somebody.
Watch the quarterback climb the pocket. And watch this adjustment by McAllister. That is not an easy catch.
No, that's a
great concentration.
He came back to the ball just the way you should want him to. Ball is a little on the underthrown side. That's a great catch. Yeah, all you're going to see is he runs a pretty decent route. He knows the guy has him to the top side. He's just going to come back underneath.
Job is playing way off, so when there's an in-breaking route like this, that is really hard to be able to close in time.
Watch the receiver get up on him. He's making it look like he's going to run the go route, and then he's going to put his foot in the ground and just stop. Well done by the quarterback and receiver.
Good route, sells the vertical, gets in between linebacker and safety, knew it was zone.
Keys was catch your 50-50 balls right there. Michael Pratt's going to give them to you. Sean Clifford's going to give them to you. We want to see what these receivers can do given the opportunity.
Too late. Watch the nickel blitz here. Again, it's going to be too late. That's Teron Jackson. So because of that, it's man-to-man, and that means McCollum from safety.
See if we can see anything at the end of this play. Nice run after catch by Taylor.
Nice move there, and just tackled right there at the end.
To get very comfortable in that pocket, and he puts the ball.
He's in the slot right here. It's a slot fade. Get separation. That is not a good throw from Tanner McKee, by the way, because Hebert had a step or two, but Hebert comes back for it. Excellent body control and hands to make that play by Hebert. Let's see if that can get this Eagles offense going a little bit.
You're out here with a lot of young players, young tight ends, young receivers, and it's not always done exactly the way it's been drawn up, whether it's not getting the proper depth.
Excellent break here by Mike Ford. Reads the route perfectly, and then he attacks the hands. He went at the highest point, just like a receiver.
For Baltimore. Samori Toure doing a good job there. Talk about a guy with a lot of experience now on the back end here, trying to make a name for himself, trying to etch out a spot on this roster.
He's had a pretty good preseason. He doesn't get a lot of separation very often, but he's got a big body and he has good hands.
Nasty. You look at that move. To fake that you're going in and to go outside when you're that close to the sideline, the defensive back doesn't expect that. Skirt. You see that right there, and he still stays inbounds and picks up another 4 yards.
I prefer not to test the theory. I mean, the ball was not, it was thrown behind. Hutchinson facing a guy, Trey Tomlinson, he faced in the Big 12.
One that forced the fumble the last time.
The Packers show blitz to the right, drop Mosby on the left, defensive end, and he falls right into the throwing lane there. And that time the Packers get their hands on the football and secure the interception. What a way to come back.
Yeah, it's tough. Miles Bryant's got outside.
Kept developing through training camp, through the preseason game, so I'm proud of him.
I like what I'm seeing from Carter Bradley, too.
Yeah.
Tom, you can tell.
So you got to tighten up your coverage and stuff here, but this actually, that corner laid off a little bit too much.
One back to the ball. Now, nice move. And 49ers, watch this throw. Wow, I think he keeps both feet in bounds. Does he squeeze it?
Previous play is under review.
The Raiders didn't, even though the clock was stopped, they did not want to let the Niners. But what about his knee?
He's out.
Yeah.
Knee is out. And it was only 1 foot down.
Kalen King potentially was supposed to trail him there. It's hard to tell here on that replay exactly what happened, but just about any receiver, when they catch the ball that wide open and it turns into a sprint, that's going to be trouble for any defense.
Wallace the vet.
Green game has helped in some of these crossing routes versus zone coverage. Just finding a little hole. Well, got a minute 41, no timeouts.
Yeah, that's plenty of time to get down there, kick a field goal.
It's just what Matt wants, overtime.
Yeah, I love overtime in the preseason.
Overtime in the preseason.
Yeah, one of my favorite things.
Defensive linemen, we always look at the sat stack or the pressure stat. But when you get guys that are in the pocket moving left, right, and not comfortable.
The Ravens defense is such a formidable opponent right here. He's got to try and get the ball.
Keep working back towards the quarterback as opposed to working away from the quarterback. The hole in the middle of that defense, and then nice job on the back end.
That's nice by Maga to keep his eyes where they're supposed to be, right? A lot of times your eyes are going with the flow, and instead he was able to see with good vision and protect that backside, makes a nice tackle.
A lot of action for DeJean so far. This is what they call a slot fade. I'd say he's in pretty good coverage there.
Nate Wiggins is the first-round draft pick for the Baltimore Ravens, and you talk about dynamic speed. I don't know if that's the guy I want to challenge right now.
This is good block here.
Yep, and this is one thing you have to learn to do as a running back. Most of those guys do. That ball was perfectly thrown, but most of the running backs would come in and they're so used to running.
Room that knows the system, that can answer some questions when the coaches aren't there, when they're sitting there watching. The one thing I love to see the tight end do, though,
he hit him before the ball got there. You know, you got to break. You got to turn into a defender. Well done.
Important on the first play of a 2-minute drive to get a completion. This is a good throw. There's Cornell Armstrong, and quarterback's breaks contained. Gets out on the edge.
We're talking about the competition at linebacker, defensive end, all these places. How about our secondary? Hankins with an outstanding play, rips it away from the receiver and hangs on.
Smith goes airborne. One. Did he get it?
I don't know.
Boy, it looked like the other foot was in there.
I'd prefer, another. Let's see this angle.
One. And then did he get the drag there?
I don't know.
Peter, this is why they're paying you the big bucks.
My answer is
a catch. It is a clean catch.
Watch the fade route here. Watch 18 with a push right there. Gets away with it, then gets the ball for the score. That right hand pushes Hankins away, and that's all he needed to get separation. Wonderful throw by Trey Lance. You can see the short coverage by Leonard. Safety late coming over.
Very sharp route. Stridlin set it down.
There is a flag down. So we'll see. It was
pass interference. Right at the top. See working there against Chiron. And just gets around. It's perfect throw, perfect catch. Now make no mistake, this is an elite catch. He pulls this thing in and gets the ball. He is really good at this kind of thing. In the passing game, the short passing.
Keep somebody extra to a different position. And then obviously start going down to, to the last few spots. Do we want to keep, as you said.
And this guy loves to compete.
And pretty good throw, too. Let's give Stick some credit. Put it right on the money. But you got to be impressed with Fehoko. 6 catches now.
Good job selling the go route, breaking it in. And Fromm delivers a low ball because if that ball is high.
Against the Chiefs.
Caden had to maneuver around the guy, but found a way to find the hole, secure the catch.
I saw this great coverage by Hankins. Did not go for the stop and go route. Ball sails out of bounds. Stick has given him a chance with great coverage. Boy, he had both feet down. Left foot, right foot, barely. But no control as the ball comes loose.
Automatic first down.
Alexander just showing speed off the line. Boom, boom. Sets it down, gets across the field, delivers a dart, goes up and gets it, and then becomes a runner.
Crowd wants interference here. This reminds me of when Dion and Irvin were going out in an NFC Championship game. Physical, 95 NFC Championship. How do they not call that? I don't know. Yeah. That's a hold, but
Georgia Southern.
I like this battle here. Giles and Bartholomew, both fighting to make their teams.
Watch at the top of this route, slant and go, and that is an absolute, oh my gosh, he just dropped Boodle off.
Watch where this ball lands, right on the hands, the fingertips. You don't get many opportunities to make a play like this, to make a team. That's an opportunity. Dropped. That's the reaction by Woods.
There's that safety experience at the cornerback spot.
Yeah, just reading the quarterback's eyes. You see number 40 there. That ball well overthrown. But I think J.T. Woods was in position. But watch the right hand of Clark here as he just reaches out. Perfect timing by the defensive
99,
back.
61, and 66 are eligible. 61, 60.
This is just remarkable by Jefferson. Reading the quarterback the whole way, not sure that this pass ever had a chance of being completed, but it's intercepted by Tony Jefferson. Pass is going to be an impossible reception because of the switch there.
25 yards and what an effort.
What an athletic move to get up in the air with his right hand, keep the ball afloat, pick it off, and then at the end add insult to injury, running over the guy that threw it. Well thrown by Stick, but number 40, watch his feet as the ball comes in. He kind of goes limp and drags them both. The ball position here. Tough throw on the run, but not thrown to the outside and low. Allows the defensive back to come inside the ball right in front of the receiver, who doesn't have to worry about it.
It was a clean catch as Giles went down. Did the football go off the hands into the ground?
Challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass.
So that was a case of Saleh looking up at the screen, making a decision, and just releasing the flag before DeVito got the snap. This is a terrific attempt by Giles.
Giles hit the hurdle earlier. West Florida, Giles. I'm digging how he's playing.
He's got both hands on it.
Retired, became a scout.
Rolling on the field is interception, first down, Los Angeles.
And makes plays like this. 10-year veteran who in his career in a regular season had 4 picks. But this one turns back the Cowboys.
Giles, what a play. That's pure athleticism.
He went over Bartholomew.
Hey, that was awesome.
So this one,
open guy, and Ferkser has been out. Mentioning Charles Oakley's name on air is just me pandering at this point. Just trying to just, play to the New York audience.
The ability to move the pocket and throw on the run. And look where this ball is perfectly thrown. So the receiver does.
To push him out of bounds. It's a gain of 5.
Looking at the Giants wideouts, right? You got Hyatt and Slayton.
You can see it's single coverage here. But by pumping to the middle of the field, you can see the safety take the bait.
What are your thoughts on this group and how they fit?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely we like to be as deep as we can there.
Last week against the Rams, we showed that interception in the end zone. But that. But Johnson working. And the ball again thrown away from the body of the receiver. The right side and back to the left. This is a tough throw to make, and he throws it just a little bit. Just a little hitch route. Good reaction there on the outside for the Chargers. Rallying to the ball.
Job, and so for him to help us, continue our build. He was here, several years of, helping us, win these divisions, and then.
Well, Robert Kennedy's got a chance not only to make this catch, but to go a long way with it if he makes the grab.
He could have put it out there a little bit better, but good job by Fountain making the play on the ball.
Third option. Comes all the way back across the formation, gets it deflected, and McKitty stays with it.
They just lose these guys. You'll watch. Just out and up into the gap there.
Bringing the blitz off the slot, and that speeds things up for Trey Lance. Here it comes. It's going to get hit right in the back, but the cover.
Are forced to throw the football, and Anthony Brown's not complaining.
Not at all. It's going to be just a little nondescript swing pass. Boom. Sticks his foot in the ground and gets around. When they come out, either one, they'll both sit there and talk to each other, and they can have conversations that.
You see when he was down here. He had possession.
Was that knee on the ground or on his
on the top
leg? The drive off with a positive play. Good job just coming out and making the play by Zylstra.
Down the sidelines to the top. Tough matchup with a tall receiver. Hardy stays with it, gets his eyes on the ball, goes up. It's a nice job. I like it whenever the defensive back has a chance to catch it.
Just playing with confidence is what I've seen. Ooh, that ball.
Was that the slight active job you were talking about earlier?
Yeah. Picks up 7 and moves the chains.
It's a good throw by DiNucci, and Shavers and Shorter to his left out of the pocket. Could not get any pressure. He finds the guys down the field. They break off their routes late and find an open spot. Tough for the secondary.
A 7 route just to the corner and just easy. That's routes on the air. And
it was good protection up front. You're going to see the receiver come right across. And Deion Jones just lost his footing and lost.
Slot receivers right here. Little out, little up, gets behind the defender, touchdown. Great ball by Rattler.
And I just keep thinking back to what Dan Quinn told Melissa coming out at halftime. What was his speech? Guys, you're all nervous. What are you doing? Just go out and play it and sling it. And they found the perfect guy to go play like that, right? Trace McSorley's just throwing.
The defense was there. I mean, that's just not a lot of space to fit that football in. D. Williams doing a good job trying to play the hands of the receiver, but he just goes up, catches the ball, and yeah, that's in. That's 6.
Beautiful from a second-year player out of Oklahoma. Tore the Achilles last year.
Great play design by Ryan Grubb. I can't sit there and draw right now. My computer's a little messed up, but you can see Kenny McIntosh motions to the top, which gives Geno Smith all the information he needs. They're in zone. They push the zones to the strong side. Goodness, silky smooth by Jackson Smith and Jigba. Ryan Grubb does a great job in the play design, putting Jackson Smith and Jigba in the slot, giving him all types of space. Look at the soft hands right there. Fingertip catch, guys. Wow.
Simplified a little bit more. So it's similar to what they're doing in college. You're not seeing all the advanced changing of plays and, big hit. Excuse me, that's Davis. Had a chance for a big hit, Jaden Davis, and just completely whiffed on it. Didn't make a play at the ball.
He's matched up here with Jean Charles. You see the little in break. Just enough of a step and
just a little quick out. Guy snatches that football out of the air. That's a tough play to make.
So once again, they drop back out of the blitz, and they've got plenty of pursuit to go get it, but it just didn't matter. They didn't need it at all. Sean Wade just comes up with a brilliant play on the outside, and they have a little depth over there now with Marcus Jones.
Wide receivers and quarterbacks that connect as he makes that route, very similar route that St. Brown won on from that slot position for the Saints touchdown in the first half. It's a deep crossing route from A.T. Perry. It's going to take time to develop. You see, he just runs away from the defender.
Oh my goodness, look at this throw right here. Little waggle action. And this is kind of like a throwback, half roll throw back to the middle of the field. Looks like the safeties didn't rotate and stay.
You're able to get a little more protection and work these longer routes. So gets the defensive back a little lost in
how to communicate within that defense. And Sills right here, this is just a really good job at the top of the route going against the rookie Elijah Jones. A slight push off that receiver.
Clayton Tune lets this ball go right about now, and then it gets to him right where it needed to be.
He's going to get hit right in the face, and he's just going to flip it over the head of the guy, perfect spiral, and drill.
Malik Willis is patient. You have the slot receiver on that out route, and then you get the wide receiver cutting underneath.
And Ben Sinnott not playing tonight.
Yeah, really just a tremendous play on the defensive side there to see somebody come up and be able to make that play.
Just really good coverage by Art Green in his back pedal and how he stays square now. He gets away with a little tug at the top of the route trying to counter the push by Palmer, but how he plays through it with his left hand was excellent technique for Green.
Right on the money to your top receiving draft pick, and look at this play. That is something special right there.
Lavelle Bailey, he's right there, jams, and now he's just reading the eyes of Clayton Tune. And right there, he's trying to fit that ball, and he couldn't throw in front of it because the defender throws the ball behind, and Bailey just takes advantage of it. And what I love right there, when you see that head point to the sky, he is giving it everything he got to make sure I just need to make it to the goal line. A good catch by him. It was almost intercepted by two guys right there on the Broncos. Just a bad throw by Clayton Tune.
No, you know what that means? When your head is up, that means your hamstrings are about to go.
Well, to your point, Andrew, of getting outside the pocket, and Sills doing a good job of coming all the way across the field. His first option was taken away. Slips out of his break, and he comes in. He's just trying to make a tackle, and that's one of those penalties. Whereas a
two-point conversion. And here in the fourth quarter, it's a 24-12 Denver advantage.
Try and throw it around one linebacker in here, and the other one gets it.
After the interception, personal foul, illegal blindside block by the intercepting team, number 97. This 15-yard penalty will be enforced. It's New England's ball. First down.
And Abrams Drain is a guy so far in this preseason, man-to-man, he's done an excellent job, and I know you're seeing it right now. He's a little bit behind, but he knows he has J.L.
Bryant has had a really long, hard, difficult road across the formation here, but give this offensive line some credit on this one and give May credit as well. He had to wait to see him clear, and he has thrown a couple of strikes on that same crossing route across the field.
What I'm seeing out of Zach Wilson, Jason.
I mean, he has both receivers. Up top, Dorsett's open. Down the bottom, Johnson's open. It's almost like pick your poison. He's able to hit Johnson because the safety's leaned over to the...
Familiar name right here for Saints fans. He's been on the team a while now, and he looked back out of the backfield, little option route. Able to get his hand across. Was trying to get himself a pick six. Dangerous situation for the Saints if he's able to come away with it.
Now, as long as you're able to tackle the guy, and Levi Wallace, he doesn't backpedal at all. Chris Moore's coming across, and he puts 1 foot in the ground, chases after him. Yes, it's a completion, but you get him.
One-on-one on a go route. He's trying to put the ball in a position where only St. Brown can catch it. He can sling the rock. He's a natural quarterback. They like his ability to... That's in front of Howden. You watch the action that's coming at the bottom of the screen. You create space. Is that a pick route, would you say, Joel? Absolutely not. You have a rookie, the previous play, now seasoned veteran in St. Brown, produced for the Bears last season. Now he's coming across the middle and extends this drive.
Great job by Carlton Johnson. First of all, look, there's no space for this ball to get in on that sideline.
Washington, they list him at 5'10", and he's able to climb the ladder. Look at how high he gets above the two defensive backs.
Put this on your highlight reel.
Excellent concentration, hanging on to the football. Book giving him a chance.
Longest play from scrimmage tonight.
Down disguising in the box, and it catches him because he needs to be there on the inside for his corner. He tries to rally to get there late, but he got caught disguising down too close to the box there. Wasn't able to make a play. Great throw, incredible catch. We're going to see a lot of them.
Colbert hustles here, gets there last moment to knock it away.
Man, really good play by Colbert. I thought it was going to sneak by him, and Tony have an opportunity to walk it in. You hope you get with a big body, going to the inside, physical catch, couple of defensive players around you, one hanging on your back, and good throw by Oladokin to put it on his numbers to protect.
This is the flash that this Jermaine Burton showed at Georgia and then at Alabama. Pretty good coverage, good throw to bring him back. Good, you almost could feel that Woodside and Burton, I don't know if they made eye contact.
Bush in coverage for the Chiefs.
Looked like a Matt Nagy throw to Brett Veach,
right?
That we saw earlier.
Bengals on the board.
Yeah, be careful when you walk a safety up on Jermaine Burton. Clay Fields is out on an island, and that is a tough ask. Pretty decent coverage. Let's give Logan Woodside some credit for just dropping that in the bucket.
Knew the Falcons were in man coverage. Knew he had this out route. All he had to do was win and throw it to the sideline. He does a good job of winning. Good tight defense right here. Watch this. They try to lull him to sleep, but he doesn't fall to sleep. He's right there on that hip pocket and attacks that upfield shoulder.
A play that one of these Bucs defenders was going to make a play like 48 right there. Takes the wrong step and
get more turnovers. We need to get more takeaways, and we need to stop the run better. And especially knowing who they have week one in the Baltimore Ravens, they're going to come in here with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry.
We'll take another look so that they're 1 foot push. That's close.
I think.
Well, let's see. It's got one definitely in. Oh, the knee comes down out of bounds. So unless his elbow hits before his knee does, but
that's the rookie out of Slippery Rock.
Let's see, you got one. Nope. I thought maybe that right elbow got down. Let's see if the right elbow hits before.
Oh, it might be in there.
Maybe the elbow before the knee on that angle. That right elbow gets down before the knee hits.
Kansas City is challenging the ruling.
Yeah, Hicks continues to shine. Rippon does a good job with his eyes, looking back to his left, allowing the kind of receiver a lot of times ends up. You see the contact.
Reddy Stewart there, 48 yards. That's his second interception. He had the one down by the goal line.
Watch Antonio where he's going to just splash into the screen. Skylar Thompson never saw him. See how casual he made that play because he saw it coming the entire way. Guy that's unblocked for, and then allows you the quarterback to make that through.
Receiver combos in the league this year, and when you have a one-on-one with an athletic tight end like Evan Ingram, you could see he got Anthony Johnson on his heels, and it was game over.
Buffalo played a heck of a game in defeat, but he may have the edge here to back up to him.
Here's Battle, and watch the accuracy issues. Throws the ball to the inside. Granson, a tight end, cuts to the outside, and he puts the ball more to the inside there. And again, they're going to talk on a sideline.
It's a really good ball. He back shoulders him, and then he uses his body to kind of fend off Natron Brooks from the backside. You hardly can even see Brooks there because of the big frame of Cooks coming out with that, but you got to give Mac Jones a lot of credit for that one. It's kind of a tough throw for a defensive back to kind of do anything with.
Yeah, another good catch by Cody Thompson. Guys have to go up in traffic, brings it down, and yeah, you just get hit right as he's.
Last week he had 5 tackles.
Well, that's why you have to have a short memory if you're a corner, right? On that touchdown drive, he got called for a couple of holding penalties. You got to have a short memory, be able. He's in great position here, had an opportunity to get the ball, but wide receiver turned defense.
His feet in and held out of the football.
All right, it was a good route by McGowan. Chris McDonald got caught kind of looking back, and the receiver started to spin away from him.
Right toe drag was well done.
Yeah, but watch in the middle here. Zion Logue again pushing from the middle, forcing the pressure a little bit for that ball to come out just a little bit sooner.
You'll never do it beyond that, and you'll never do it for major events like Super Bowls, college Hall of Fames, college football games, etc. And yet, since 2017, this is what we've done. And part of the result.
Watch as he comes out, he looks to his left, he's staring right at it. Unfortunate after getting the ball in good field position to turn the ball over in that situation.
It's a long way to cover, and he did a great job of being patient, not overreacting and panicking.
He kind of shored up, I brought it up earlier, the starting corners with Jones and Brents, but they're trying to find that third and fourth corner. Dallas, Gus Bradley telling us this week that the corner situation is big in camp. They think Jalen Jones, with his length and within this system.
See a late rotation there up to the field, and they bit on that run fake with the bootleg out to the outside. He steps into it, doesn't flinch. Great job in the pocket, keeping your eyes upfield and not looking at
Mitchell for that touchdown. But safety coming down a little bit late. It gave Mitchell a chance. You see the traffic he had to work through.
Timing route here. You see him in the slot. He comes all the way across the formation. Obviously, he has outside leverage on that DB. He can out.
His 4th preseason with the Chiefs.
Sweeney releases inside. He gets lost. Fake out to the left. Quarterback just out in space.
The Chicago linebackers have had a very good night, especially in coverage.
Well, defensive end Malik Herring tries to get out into coverage, just doesn't get there fast enough. You bring the double linebacker blitz. Well, and he just catches him in zone coverage, and you see Joseph and you see Jones in the slot there on the tight end, and he just grabs a hold of the jersey. Easy call for the official.
It's got to feel good. It's a good job, but you know what? It's going to be a tight window throw over the top. It's got to hit the tips of the fingers and the edge. Adrian Martinez drops it in. Contested catch.
The outside receiver here.
Jaquay Jackson. Where's he from, J-Mac? He's from Rutgers University, and that's what we call a double move, folks. He makes it look like he's running it out, and he
2020. And he's looking to separate himself and trying to create a niche on this roster for him. And what better way to make it happen with that catch?
Gain of 26. Called a little skinny post. It's not a break across the middle. It's more kind of up the field. It's a timing throw, and a good job by Nate Sudfeld. Just
hit here as he's thrown it. Nope.
In the NFL, that's a pretty clean pocket where you can step up in the what we call the B gap to your left side. We're over here talking about the offensive line, the protection. But Keyshawn Boots,
I think it was the slot he was trying to go to. He comes back to the tight end, and then comes all the way back to the 4th read, which is Tyquan Thornton.
And I think that was so impressive for Jacoby to be able to go through that. For Tyquan,
between that throw and that catch, ripping to Johnson, that's about as good as it gets.
Had there to his left side. He gets through his progression, comes back to his tight end. Just really well done to cap off this drive.
As I've seen so far in this game, they're letting the defense put the hands all over these receivers.
Is on coverage right there in zone. When you hit that ball on time, he's expecting help underneath. When that doesn't happen.
Rush did a pretty good job. He was on top of him and just made a good play and a good throw.
Depth chart shakes down. Are they going to keep 5? Are they going to keep 6? Are they going to squeeze somebody in the practice squad? He's right in that area.
Darnay Holmes on the coverage.
Yeah, that's a good speed out. They threw a lot of these in warm-ups.
Work through that. You see he's on the left of the screen, and he's got to work through that over the top. Defenders expecting him to continue on.
They kicked the field goal here. Dan Campbell wouldn't sleep all night.
But hey, I'm going to make it up. Put one downfield to Calvin Austin right there on the corner route. And Calvin Austin, he can.
Well, this is a nice route. You can see defenders. They're looking into the backfield, and you've got.
That's just 3-step drop on time. Deliver that football on time. That's a very tough play for any.
Trying to throw the football quick, nobody open. When you wait downfield, here's a backside guy, Trey Herndon gets the interception.
Now this is a Dan Campbell play because his guys didn't give up on it.
Great
his size, Joe Milton's size, and the Cam Newton comparisons. And I'll never forget when Cam was here. We're in the weight room ready to go out. And
it was good. I was out there just we were training at the same field, and whenever he was out there and I was out there.
Rooney's face here, I can tell you, 20 yards on 34 yards. Boom, boom.
Nice play, nice throw, nice catch.
And this is what happened when you run the football on first down. That play action. He's looking to build off of that. Did a nice job right there, bringing down Stroud.
He really did, and that's not an easy assignment because Stroud.
Hoyer, what do you think? You were always the guy in practice. It was 3rd and 2, and you throw a 40-yard fade route down the sideline.
Well, let's just see. Who we looking at? McKenzie down the field.
Lockett's wincing. He's got something going on in his side. He's grabbing his left side.
Everybody down the field, they'll call real quick.
For a while carrying the football as a running back. As you can see, the rain starts to fall here in Canton. But even with the ball being a little...
Of these kicks that don't go the distance, you get 2 first downs with today's kickers, you're in field goal range.
Yeah, it's right, Carl. But this play here, they rolled...
As a quarterback with the Buffalo Bills, now trying it as a tight end.
Yeah, really good anticipation, but Tommy DeVito throws it behind.
Was in coverage, but you just can't throw it or catch it any better than this.
No, I mean, the coverage, you can't.
It's harder to help those interior guys. So if you have a solid interior and you could step up into the pocket, you run the outside rush by and try to play like that. I think
now, and he's getting a chance without Jonathan Jones in the lineup to show, you know what, I can be a guy that can be a starter on this team and play some major minutes.
That's a good idea. Johnson, he gets on top of the defender this time, and if Rippon had anticipated that, lead him up towards the pylon, that's where Johnson was expecting it. He's trying to go back shoulder and just a little too much in him trying to come back and make a play on the ball. Well, Tommy Sweeney, you're going to see him right here. He does an excellent job. It's a stick and go like we saw earlier, and just a lot of blown coverages and not carrying.
Long road back for Cam Akers, takes a knee, says a quick prayer as he's got a touchdown.
Well, this was too easy, and it was the Cam Akers drive, but this route, he comes out. It's an option route out of the backfield. It's not a particularly good route.
His coverage is really good. Watch 29, Bernard Converse. He's following, tracking. He's got his arm on the offensive player and shoots up, just misses the ball. But
that is Keon Coleman's first catch in a game as a professional. Little first down, little quick out curl at the sideline.
Yeah, a deep in cut, and Josh Johnson does a great job of throwing the ball on time. That normally the deep in cut, that dig we call it.
Right here. So he had him right there by the top of the shoulder, and anytime a defensive
connects with Brown for the first down. Pressure from Clemens.
That Stinger slips a little bit. Clemens, huge shot on Driscoll, but got the ball.
Instead of going to the out of bounds, he just put on the brakes. and the defender goes right by him. He easily gets the first down.
Where he caught the ball, he didn't have the first down.
Incomplete. Yeah, nice job. Well, Brownlee here, obviously last season, really nice tracking the football. A lot of contact there, not able to bring it in, but good job by Tyrod, giving him a chance.
Right over the center of the screen. Watch, here's right there is Baskerville. You just can't see him. The offensive line standing there. He gets caught in the wash. Your vision doesn't pick him up, and he slides right in front of the little hitch route and takes it the distance. Seems to be really small windows though, and there you see the arm wrapped around. It's a good play by Jones. He's had a couple of those today.
Not a lot of room for error here. Look at how he drops that in. Brownlee, a heck of a job just tracking the football, but also getting his feet. See the ball catch, left foot right there. It's a nice job by the rookie quarterback Peasley, man. Impressive throw and an impressive catch, and finally the Jets get on the board.
Complete, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Carlson comes down, has his feet down, but when he goes down to the ground, a different angle, this angle, watch the ball. Burt jumps loose, goes to the ground, and he re-catches it. That's incomplete. The officials got it right, so did Sean McDermott. And there you have it. Going anywhere near what they really want to do in the red zone in the regular season. You'll see that, and their feet get tangled up. Coleman can't gather himself, lets the play develop, and then the defensive backs start to break down a little bit. Shakir just makes himself available, and when you talk about chemistry with players who
having a big target come at him, he does a great job of staying upfield, got a little tug, but comes downhill and sticks that hand out.
What he did here is, again, find the football, all right? One thing as a coach you hate seeing, don't look for the football. He finds it.
Quite a bit here this afternoon.
Really has. Man-to-man across the board. Good job. He's got his head around.
Covers 44 yards. Driscoll once again on the money.
Yes, and again, they're just running 4 or inside go routes, and you put a strain on the middle safety, and the back leads them to the left, tricked them, then comes back to the right. And Sinet, he had a heck of a career.
It's been a hard catch for Kirkwood. Reaching up and tipping that ball away. That is awesome. Great tight coverage. When you go down the field and you're on the upfield shoulder, turn your head. That's the interception. It hit his back number. Not allowing the interception. That time, when the DB's above him, if he would have threw the back shoulder, that would have been a completion.
We're going to have a good talk about that and see. Got some time. Just got to.
So a couple of 4th down stops. Mom named him off a soap opera star. She used to watch a soap opera, and the name was Storm. So there we have a Storm Duck sighting tonight.
He's another one. He vowed to make changes, and he's certainly showing them off early.
Reduced split. He opened up a little too early. If he could have stayed square, he could have got a better break on the ball. He's breaking down on it. He's looking at the receiver. Comes down. Gets his hand again on top of it. TBU again.
On back and forth between corner and safety in college.
Yeah.
What do you see his role with the Colts being?
Well, I think they want to play him at corner right now to see if he could hold up.
With job at the line of scrimmage, makes it tight, forces him and presses him to the sideline. Just look, man, sometimes guys on the other side, they're on scholarship too. He just made a really good catch. Great job of him working his feet to stay in bounds. This guy, Devin Duvernay, could make the adjustment and do it. You got to remember, Duvernay has been
he took a huge hit.
Big hit. Just a great job by Devin Duvernay making.
Is firmly in the competition. I think this is going to be his 5th year with the team. A lot of practice squad, an occasional call by Rock Ya-Sin. Look how he just dances with him, and then he pushes him parallel, so he doesn't get a chance to get and fold around.
Josiah
DeGuerra. Good job. Little slot fade inside, big tight end.
That was nice. That was very nice.
Here comes O'Connell in front of you.
For one, J.J. McCarthy will follow Sam Darnold, and Jaron Hall will follow J.J. McCarthy.
That's right, the toe drag swag. Nate Burleson would be pleased with that one. DeBose is having a heck of a first half here. That's his 4th catch on the day.
Wow.
And he got those feet in there right in front of Edmonds, the safety. But I'll tell you what, Clifford's been impressive to me.
BTJ has been a big playmaker during his time at LSU. Comes in right away. First game, they catch the DB slipping and throw it over the top of the defense. These are the explosive plays that you need.
Find that open area, curl up, and just show the quarterback he is wide.
6th round pick out of Oklahoma, and watch him on the dig. Gets the inside leverage, breaks it in, goes up, makes the contest.
Parker Washington in the slot, running a slot fade, all of the room. You're just hoping that the quarterback can give him a little more, a bigger, better chance to be able to make that play. But it's really, really good coverage.
26, first down.
Yeah, great job. Just a clearing route up the middle. You can see Brandon Powell just emptying that.
Wow. Oh, that's
Terrell Edmonds.
So, Brian, that's the second big hit Terrell Edmonds has made. He's got more of an opportunity to play today because Dewey's out. But former first-round pick has bounced around the league. But you see the physicality in what he brings. You talk about having an opportunity to play. He's certainly making the most of his opportunity when it comes to that. Wide open. You wanted to give it to him. You like the receiver to be able to stay in bounds. That's on Mac Jones. You got to put it on his body.
But even though it's completed, look at the blue shirts swarming to make the tackle on the spot. Chance Campbell, number 45.
Of us down the field in 3 deep, really all day long. And this, not a very complex route, but just over the head of the linebacker. And
of course, since he's joined this team, a 5th round pick. Corey Curtis. Jarvis Brownlee's making quite an impression, isn't he?
He absolutely is. You know, Rand Carthon, when he drafted it.
Paul, this had the chance to be a monster play. If that ball's gone right now, did you see where Stylianos was?
Yep.
Wide open. If that ball's gone right there, he can catch it and turn upfield. But because it took a couple of extra steps, the ball...
really good job. A little physical, a little handsy. But, man, he really condensed the space in the window for the quarterback.
Kinsey trying to make this team.
Look at him work inside and get his head back to the quarterback quickly.
Well, you want the ball to reach the end zone at least, Charles, but Chance Campbell.
But look what he does, Paul. He goes up and attacks the football. He doesn't let it just come to him and wait for it to come down. He goes up in the air, high points it, and comes down with the interception that seals the game.
Great test. Man-to-man coverage. See Buster Brown right in the hip pocket. Hollywood Brown makes a catch, just about finishing the play.
Battle like Secretariat to Sham.
That was just a great throw too. Jay Ward getting beat and not looking.
9, that's fine. That means you got to hold up in man coverage though. So if you get that and they're going to run people at the quarterback and they're going to be aggressive in man coverage, you've got to be locked onto your guy. And that was a really well run. There's a push there. Now watch the 49ers. See the push there? Whoa. So guess what? You two work it out. If you're all right, if you guys are going to push on each other, I am.
And then hits Amory and Brown behind. Here's the guy, pulls him out, and then boom, ball right on him. That is a great
spots in coverage and able to present themselves to their quarterbacks and hook up. This is another time where Will Levis is looking downfield, comes off of the deep shot, and comes back underneath, finds Calvin Ridley, and then after the catch, you see how dangerous Ridley is, the explosiveness on
the sidelines and doing all the reviews. But
yep, that was N'Keal Harry, now a tight end.
Great job by N'Keal Harry, and I think, you know, you go back and look at that play. Jaron Hall had a number of options, and I think he held on to the football.
This is where his size and physicality comes into play. Takes an outside release against press, uses his body, who specializes in delivering those splash plays for the team. Big dig route coming over the middle of the field. Trevor Lawrence finds him in that open window, delivers a strike. Here we see Travis Etienne offset, one-on-one opportunity against Drew Tranquil, steps inside, Trevor delivers the ball immediately on the break. Great concept.
Nice touch here by McCarthy.
Yeah, a very nice touch. You see that cornerback who's sitting in the flat. He's trying to find that area between the cornerback and the safety.
Here, but Hickman working as a corner here. The Browns were in their dime, and you can't allow that free release. You see, he reached for the hand there, didn't get it. Wicks ran right by him.
Situation. I mean, after Griffin and Murphy, maybe a Caleb, Fabian Moreau, 8-yard catch, another first down for the Vikings from the 12.
Corner
outside
position.
And basically, the more Gus uses him and Juju in press, the better they're. He's got pressure in his face. He steps back on the back foot and gets it to Treadwell open. Treadwell, nice body adjustment for the ball.
Making an impact.
Oh, nice little hesitation move.
That got him the distance, the separation.
Well, when you bring this many players, you're going to have some one-on-one opportunities on the outside. T. Higgins is just too much.
Perfect catch. Full extension on the out. Oh, man, good job, Murray.
McAllister.
Kayvon Merriweather, number 26 here, because this is a catch. He's got it, and he rips it out.
Looked like they had a step here on the seam. Brooks does a really nice job of going back and getting underneath Mims.
Very nice. Right there, coverage makes the pick. Keenan Isaac.
Yes, the ball. Excellent play there. McGrone knocked it out. No question about it. He just simply hit that thing out.
The pride of Lawrence Central, Lucas Kroll, made the catch and then did take one step upfield. That's good enough to be a catch.
Making some plays here.
Yeah, really close to being able to pick this one off. He got that right hand in there, and smartly.
It would be a factor in that fourth quarter. He is a Mr. Reliable. You put that ball close to him, he's going to catch it.
Young man.
And this one is on target, too. That's pass interference. My goodness. How do you not call that on 33?
Little play fake. They're in a trips formation, and they bring Montgomery across on the over route, clear the area for him. And Sam continues. He continues to thrill us in August.
Gain of 39 yards.
Absolutely great hit there. Kenny Moore is one of the premier nickels. Basic
threat of Kyler running that's going to drive D coordinators crazy. A little surprised they didn't throw a flag, but we'll take it.
And that's the way you want it. You want him.
Look at this. Holy smokes. Look at, he's got one arm wrapped around him.
Good job by the safety coming over. But you can call pass interference on Williams again. He's got his hands all over Rice.
They're going to go for it on 4th down. 4th and 8.
Shoulders. Oh my goodness, it looked like interference.
Yeah, he grabbed his arm and pulled on his left arm before the ball got there.
And this is he's throwing the ball down to the seam to number 3. Cross is there, just can't. He meets him just at the time the ball gets, or just.
This out on the comeback. There it is, Pascal with a nice job, and that ball was in the air before he even turned around.
Basically by Knicks. I'll tell you, if you're a Denver fan, you're going to be really happy with that drive in your quarterback. They blitzed inside again, picked it up. Anthony had a little bit more presence. Very quick delivery.
Shane Lee there, the linebacker, Dan, just ran right by him.
Yeah, and
David, watch this right here with Darren Hall. You got Jacobson, the tight end, out there, and he hits him right in the face after he catches. Taylor Demerson, I do not know what he was doing. He was deep. It looked like cover 2, and he came up. He jumped the route, and Perry went over the top of him.
Southwestern College before transferring to Texas A&M Commerce.
Well, Walker in graduate school, a season out of Temple, signed as a free agent this offseason.
Deliberate. His eyes got on there early, and nowhere really to put that football.
Number 29, Christian Izian, last year was their nickel back, but with the incoming.
He goes to 6'8", and he makes the catch. Good throw by Duggan, too. And you love that effort.
So you got 2 quick outs here, Dan, and just take the easiest one. You got that much cushion on the outside. That makes the decision.
Leonard's been playing on that second team at corner, along with the rookie Campbell.
Well, Scott's got him beat, but Hankins doesn't give up on the play and goes right between the 2 hands. That is such great technique to go between the receiver's hands to knock the ball away.
Yeah, that's teaching tape.
Yes, sir. And throwing into a crowd over the middle. Look at all the Seahawks close on that. There's the tip ball and the pick.
Kayvon Wallace.
That is a great job. Look at him. He's cluing. Do you see it? Starling Thomas. He's looking at the cue. He's looking at the quarterback, and he jumped that route.
On the deep dig route here. You can see the ball is in the air. That's a heck of a throw by Walker. And you really love to see that out of your receiver. A good sharp route here. Ball on time, on target.
Seattle defense, Dan, has got really good corner play. That's Reek Woolen, number 27. They're very physical.
He's had a good game. Excellent play there. Vertical to get up and get that one.
Seeing 2 and 3 yard gains and trying to get a big chunk, but a nice job of really staying in position there by Finley. He's on the.
No doubt about it. That is a physical tackle by Taylor Demerson right there. Once again, you know what? You're going to make mental errors. It's going to happen. Your rookie year, of course, you're playing your
chunk play, Dan.
Well, he's 6'4", and he uses all of it.
Credit, he's got a defender right in his face right here. You see, hits him just as he throws it. Dax Hill.
I mentioned Easton Stick at North Dakota State, a 4-time FCS champion.
Really good. Troy Pride doesn't panic, uses the sideline as a second defender.
But it didn't bother him. The safety just took a bad angle. That's a really good throw and catch by Johnson to Wallace.
And that's one of the things you can't simulate in practice. You can't simulate running in front of a safety knowing if you don't time it right, you're getting drilled.
But great job by Simpson feeling, getting his hands in there. Kirkwood just getting vertical, acting like he's taking it ball deep, goes on a 7-cut, which is going to the side. A lot of depth. That made the ball go up, and Armour Davis almost got an interception on that first pass down there, down the field. Kirkwood coming out of his break. Ball's thrown a little behind him, but he does a great job of twisting his body and looking.
You were able to create pass rush by guys that were smart and knew how to run games and stunts up front.
I know Will was here for a little bit, but there's your catch. Talk about Jenkins elevating and getting it with the left hand, securing it with the right.
Once again, Marcellus Dial on the outside. He's in man-to-man press up there, and once again, kind of high on him.
But you'll see him here. Hasty to his right, offset. There's your protection. Good slide to the left right there.
And his footwork, he steps right up in the pocket, loads up, and just throws a beautiful pass to Javon Baker, who's made some incredible catches throughout training camp.
Oh, he had that.
And Marcellus Dial just falls on the play. It's coming out and just falls down. You're going to see those guys right there in the middle of your screen, matched up one-on-one on a third down. And he's playing with inside leverage, gets a good break. And
these go routes where you get pinned along that sideline. This is Javon Baker getting pinned here. He's on the white, running. Ball gets away from him a little bit, but it's a one-handed snag. Taps the feet. Take those all day. Filled all day long. There's the jam, top of your screen. Sort of slows him down right there, that contact.
Exactly, Zone. As you talk about the jam right there for Ringo as he's jamming him into the sideline.
A little bit of a jet sweep action here with Antonio Gibson going in motion. And it's almost a little stop route. That's not even a slant.
Well, I bring up Chad Morton because this is the running backs coach is going to want a nice move to get to the skinny post and cut it inside. Good first down. Keep the clock moving.
You were talking about Chad, who's spent the last 10 years with Seattle, was with Shane Waldron and company there.
Tyson Bagent even shows improvement from last year. That's quick on a fade route from the slot in a perfect spot by Pettis. He knew right away as soon as he stepped back where he was going.
And look at that. That's Lance Robinson, a rookie out of Tulane, who was pretty tight on Pettis.
So Pettis knows it's open, it's man, and he's just throwing to the open spot. He could have, technically you want to throw it to the back pylon, but he was just looking at the trajectory of where the open spot was.
You just tip your cap and you see why they talked about Malik Neighbors the way they did during draft and why, like you mentioned.
Rookie from LSU. You know, one of the things we found out at Hard Knocks is that the Indianapolis Colts were trying to trade up.
How he just bails out of the pocket here. And this is the toughest throw you can do. Throw into your left.
Away from the arm side, right?
And he does it.
That is in the bucket, off platform, away from the arm side. That's the type of stuff at USC that was dropping jaws of scouts across the country.
And he does it effortlessly. And he's done it so many times where it's just commonplace.
Throw of the day, that might be the best throw of his career. Look where you talk about throwing a wide receiver open, not really having to break stride. He did have to slow down and adjust a little bit, but you saw some decent coverage there.
That's what his defensive coordinator said about him. Derek Stingley showing off those ball skills. The pick for the Texans. They take it away. Back on offense next.
So he's just waiting for him to clear the slot.
Excited about Malik Neighbors.
That's it right there. 42-inch vertical, 4-3. Somehow. That's a great job by Deonte Banks, taking away inside leverage, and then he doesn't look back for the ball. until he gets in phase. That's the hardest thing to do for a defensive back. He never panicked. Well, Jones did, and then he didn't catch the football. Great job there by Jimmy Ward getting off of his hash and making a great play on the ball. I think Neighbors got to catch that, ND.
Not only is he a great athlete, but he really understands the game. You see the way he jumped the wide receiver on that route? That's not physical. That's between the ears. That means he understood.
You're that tackle, Goldie. You can't let that guy get past you.
Yeah, Smith getting a good test.
And Ross was on the right. 3 receivers out to the left. You see Worthy just do a little stutter step. Ross working the drag route. That clears out the backside. Worthy does a little stutter step just to freeze the defender.
They're right on target for Craycraft. He ran a really good route. You know, Craycraft all training camp has had those sure hands, and well, I tell you what a nice first drive. Down the field, look, ball got kind of beat a little bit inside, and that'll be a lesson for him. But nice throw, nice catch.
This looked like a well-thrown ball to me, Paul.
Sure was.
And look at Williams. What Tyke Tolbert, the wide receiver coach, is going to tell him. You know what it is, Paul.
Catch it.
Play through it.
Yeah.
See right there, Shaheem Carter trying to be on the coverage.
Rush. He's playing the actual receiver. Doesn't get a hit around.
Out there that time covering Tinsley.
Yeah, Sean's one of those guys. You know he's going to make the roster. As a special.
He just got greedy here. He's on the move. He thinks he can make this throw, but this is a little bit of difference in that closing speed in Taylor Demerson, who really, to me, is going to be one of the bright stars coming up. He just forced the ball on the run. Runs a slant. The ball is high. And again, he's another guy. He goes up and gets it.
When he initially threw it, I'm thinking maybe that ball didn't have enough on it.
And I know tough spots. You go to Buffalo, you go to Kansas City, weather conditions.
Yep.
But they didn't have their full team. So there's a lot of focus now on.
It came out hot. This thing is smoking when it gets to Kinsey. This is going to be a very difficult catch.
Soft quarters coverage. The corner is bailing. You see Flowers bail. He gives a little bit of room. Easy hook and go.
Wrestling, does it help an offensive lineman? A lot of people say it does from your point of view, and Charlie watching other guys over the years who.
Kine is safe for this ball club, and this is why. Mr. Dependable, Mr. Reliable. Look up front. No one even close to number 6 in the backfield, and he put a perfect ball on number 13, Aesop Winston Jr., right over the shoulder of Trey Avery. Let's take a look here and see what happens. Looks like Jalen Harrell again, and I think he got a piece of it. And somehow Sam Howell had enough arm strength to get it out there as he runs the route against Trey Avery.
For 4, let's go back to Cleveland's handiwork, a play earlier.
Yeah, really full extension. He gets up. He ends up being wide open because Sam extends the play.
Time to stand in the pocket. Watches. He's able to get the play fake. He steps up in here. Now look at this throw. The defensive back undercuts it. He takes the chance to undercut it, but because the ball is placed high and to the outside, Powell's able to get it, and no one else can.
He thought he had this one. He's underneath it. He thinks he's getting the ball. Kind of maybe mistimed his jump where it just went over his head, but he was under that route. He didn't think maybe that Hall would try to throw it over the head, but he's got to know where his safety help is there. Safety, no one behind, obviously. They've seen this bootleg. They close it off. The ball comes out a little quickly. You had 2 guys. It's a levels concept, the medium and the deep route, and it just so worked out that deflection gets to Jalen Darden. Great hands there. Catch. They're having a little discussion. Get a little fade route. Got to get your head around. Find the football. Gets the hand in there.
Keep a look at him on the outside. Watch him. He's trailing in the hip. He gets to the inside, gets his head around. Well, working up the field, there's a lot of back and forth. You can see the arm bar. Well, Spags is going to be happy about this. A week ago, they gave up 6 completions of 20 yards or more. This time, in the middle of the field, Davis is able to get open, and with the accurate throw and the block upfield by.
That's right, a teammate of Seth Tillman and DTR there, and that's kind of the same play that the Browns got beat on.
And accurate throw right up the field, good extension there, bringing the ball. See Rice on the outside, just a change release.
Here's the issue with this route. He's going to get too wide and forced to the sidelines. He doesn't leave Haener much room. At first glance, you might think Haener's got to put that ball outside. Well, no, the receiver's got to stay on his track.
A nice little route, little slot, corner route, little smash concept. Catches it. What you like about that and what we didn't get a chance to see, Mac Jones throwing with timing.
Figured, hey, we might take a shot here. He wasn't in all drive until the red zone. And they try to catch Peyton, number 36, sleeping. Excellent grab by Cowling, slowing down, keeping his body. And look at Rico Payton, this matchup up top. Dobbs trying to get back to Gray.
While stopping and changing direction is unbelievable. And here he sells it, but doesn't slow down. Gets the cornerback turned around. That is elite.
Drop back game. He's going to cross the entire field. It's so hard in man-to-man to cover a guy 53 1/3 yards. Coverage right here. They're just going to work a speed out to the sideline. It's Derek Carr's job to put that ball.
And turn it over on downs for Green Bay.
Excellent use of the left hand by Jaquan McMillan. Getting in there stride for stride.
A nice throw by Bradley and good job by Keaton. Just watch him here. He's going to start to his right. Look at his eyes. He's starting here. Now what he doesn't see is this relationship, and look at the defender. I mean, he's late with his eyes. He never feels the defender just watching him the entire way. I mean, that's just too easy of a play for Hall. Bennett in position. Just got to get that right arm in there a little bit quick. He's playing a little bit of bail technique. He's got some help underneath from the linebacker. Watch him come down there. He's not happy. Very aggressive corner. Watch him drive. He almost runs no one's going to run by him. So being disciplined, not panicking, and doing a good job turning and locating the football. Gardner Minshew, because of the anticipation, he gets this thing out early before. Really like Michael Mayer. I think he's going to be so much better in year 2. You just look at the patience. He starts him outside. And you're going to see Trey Tucker right at the top of your screen. He's going to head to the post. And this is a really good job by Minshew, giving him some space, using the field. Talking about Jack Jones. As a quarterback, you have to be careful when you throw the ball in his direction. He does a great job driving on the ball. Very aggressive corner.
So you can see little switch route. Like, this is what they call a slot fade. It is the #1 play against man coverage.
This is a great throw by Bennett. No safety in the middle of the field. He throws it as far as he can. Lop is there.
How do you figure out which guys are the right ones to be on that final 53?
Well, it's a good question. You know, obviously the film matters.
Effort though by Johnston.
You're seeing all of the physical intangibles
On this play, he's got him covered down the field, but the shorter throw so far in his career. But look at the route. And then the throw, and then reaching up high to make the catch.
Pocket position. He's right here, looking at his eyes, playing the eyes. Tank Bigsby, Mac Jones. Man, what a trio. They have played well this preseason.
What a beautiful throw. And again, he's real close to picking this one off. Change-up. And that allowed Leonard to jump right in front of the receiver. And still, with a great job. Tyler Johnson really climbed the ladder here to get up and get that.
Parker Washington, we'll see him in the slot. You can see just a little option route, quick turnout, catches the ball, and his quickness.
Another one, you can use him on those gadget plays. We saw it last year when he had a rushing touchdown.